Coming up on this edition of the news feed, the Lyric Theater in downtown Blacksburg battles it out with corporate theaters. Plus, an inside look at how small-town businesses stay afloat. And K9 units are on the rise in police departments. Those stories and more are just ahead.
Roll A, take A.
Hello and thanks for watching. I'm Catherine Maxwell. Blacksburg's local theater, The Lyric, is no stranger to engaging with the community. With the motto of the Heart of Blacksburg, their main goal is to offer a space for the community to come together. The Lyric is a longtime resident of Blacksburg, being here for over 100 years. While many renovations and location moves have taken place, the one thing that stayed the same is the relationship they hold with the community. Susan Mattingly, the executive director, explains how this not-for-profit organization sets themselves apart from big corporation theaters like Cinnabon and Regal Cinemas.
The Lyric is a membership organization, so we have about 900 households that are members, and this gives us an opportunity to engage them in what we are doing. They feel free to share their movie requests and suggestions with us, and they know that everything we do is a community service.
As long as the Lyric is more than a movie theater, they will continue to flourish in Blacksburg and with the community. Serving a campus of this size requires efforts in order to cut down traffic and help the campus increase sustainability. Virginia Tech Alternative Transportation provides methods and encouragements to get to campus easily without driving. Newsfeed reporter Charlotte Kuhn has more on the story.
No matter how you get to and from campus, Virginia Tech Alternative Transportation aims to provide students with a method that works best for them. Between the Blacksburg Transit and providing safe bike routes, sustainability is key when making your daily commute. Recently, VT Alternative Transportation partnered with student government to hold Bike to Campus Day in order to educate Hokies about how easy it is to get to campus with 2 wheels instead of 4.
Bike to Campus Day is sort of just to raise awareness about potentially taking a more sustainable transportation mode to get to campus. There's a lot of different. It's really easy to just bike from your apartment complex to campus by using our bike routes.
Bike to Campus Day is just one of the initiatives that Virginia Tech Alternative Transportation has. Other projects include the Roam Bike program, where students can check out bikes like the ones behind me and leave them at various campus locations. Projects like these help give students options, as well as help Virginia Tech in the long run.
Our campus is staying the same size, but the amount of students that go here is getting larger every year. The amount of people in town is getting larger every year. So just to be able to make good use of our current infrastructure, it makes a lot of sense for people to take the bus, walk, bike, something that isn't one car with one person in it.
Reporting for the Newsfeed, I'm Charlotte Kuhn.
A deal between the town of Blacksburg and the Sheeler Company is in sight for the old Blacksburg High School. The deal will give the front and rear portion to the town for community enhancement. Then Sheeler Company will use the middle for housing development. The town of Blacksburg will be getting 24 acres for around $3.3 million. This is similar to a previous deal they denied, but this time the town won't have to demolish the building. They plan to use this land to expand the park across the street. Most of the land will stay the same, like baseball fields and the track. New features will be added, such as benches and picnic tables as well. However, the main goal is to build another rec center.
We really think today's new center, which would go over there, be more cardiovascular, more indoor activities, more for well-being instead of just programs.
The new center will roughly quadruple the amount of indoor space. It is planned to be around 65,000 square feet compared to the current one at 24,000. The current rec center has a new program every hour, filling each room. Despite this, their biggest complaint is that there aren't enough activities. A recent survey by Parks and Recreation found that the community wanted more fitness options. With the addition of the new center, Blacksburg's Park and Rec hopes to meet those needs. Running a business isn't easy. It's even more challenging to run a business where there are many other businesses that sell the same service. However, there are a few businesses in Blacksburg that have been here for more than a few years and thriving. Newsfeed reporter Win Fawn has more in this report.
Running a business is never easy, especially when there are competitions around. Take the food and beverage industry for example. There are many bars and restaurants in downtown Blacksburg. However, there is a recipe for success.
It kind of depends on the business. If you get a good late night food spot, it's pretty easy, but other ones kind of have it's tough.
Benny's Pizza has been around for many years. The secret lies in the pizza slide.
Just kind of set up a northern pizza style that you don't really get anywhere else here. So we kind of just have a more unique product that everyone wants.
The service industry, on the other hand, relies on the traffic that Virginia Tech draws to campus every school year.
In the service industry, I think it's probably easy to do business because you've got a window of like 8 to 9 months that you know you're going to have people, so you have to be able to put together a plan for when the populace is gone, when Virginia Tech's not here. So when Tech leaves, that's 70%.
Reporting for the Newsfeed, I'm Wing Fan.
Just ahead on the newsfeed, how one of the largest student organizations on Virginia Tech's campus helps students find their places. And a look into K9 units and their role in police departments. That story and more after this break.
Got a quarter?
Oh, look, a redhead. Staring contest. You still got it. I know. Come alive with the forest. The dad was cute.
You were looking right at us.
Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Welcome back to the newsfeed. I'm Catherine Maxwell. The Indian Student Association at Virginia Tech celebrates Indian culture and creates a community for Indian students in Blacksburg. From celebrating holidays to hosting fundraisers, the Student Association creates a community for Indian students, but they also have an impact on other people in the community. Newsfeed reporter Jessica Spires has more on this story in the newsroom. Jessica?
Thanks, Catherine. The Indian Student Association is the largest international community at Virginia Tech. The association and its members help incoming students with transitioning into American life. They also host events for the area for important holidays including Holi, Diwali, and Independence Day. Recently, they hosted a celebration for Holi, sometimes referred to as the Festival of Love. Holi shows the significance and devotion and is celebrated with bright, colorful powers symbolizing the spreading of joy. These events are hosted so that more people in the community will get to take part in them, along with the student organization, to spread joy and celebrate significant cultural holidays together.
I think it shares the culture a lot, which I think is cool. And then also, you get to have fun and like meet other people.
The organization also spreads awareness of social issues in India and other culture through fundraisers and participation in international fair events. While they do many different events around the community, Their main goal is to just celebrate the culture and heritage of India. This is Jessica Spires reporting for the newsfeed. Back to you at the news desk.
Thanks, Jessica. K9 units are on the rise throughout the community. They are tasked with a crucial role to help protect and serve. The training with the police department and with the four-legged companion is intensive and requires the dog to feel as this is their primary job in life. This is Zeus, a new and upcoming member of the Pulaski County Sheriff's Department who plays a crucial role in helping sniffing out drugs and just being overall cute. Being a part of the K9 unit requires serious time commitment and work for the K9 companion and also the K9 officer.
His primary purpose here is strictly drugs, to help patrol out.
The responsibilities of a K9 officer do not end whenever the officer's shift is over. The dog is considered a partner at work, but also at home. K9s at home are treated differently than most family dogs and aren't considered a typical pet.
But he doesn't get that interaction with my children or I hate to say it, but the comfort of laying on a couch. So he doesn't know that. He doesn't understand that. So like I said, whenever I let him out, he's like, all right, it's time to go to work.
K9s are considered a partner, not a pet. K9s have been seen as essential to police departments and are continuing to grow.
He dramatically cuts down on the time and resources needed to effectively do the things that our job requires us as far as finding different illegal controlled substances.
Reporting for the newsfeed, I'm Catherine Maxwell. On Thursday, March 28th, University of South Carolina student Samantha Josephson was kidnapped and murdered after mistaking her would-be killer's car for an Uber. This nationwide tragedy has sparked debates around college campuses about rideshare safety. In Blacksburg, rideshares like Uber and Lyft are a popular way of transportation. The Blacksburg Police Department also offers different ways on how to stay safe when going out and in rideshares. They sponsor free rides on Fridays and have various charging stations throughout downtown. However, the best way to protect yourself is to always go out with a group of friends and never alone. In most cases, victims are often alone and in vulnerable positions.
We partnership with the Virginia Tech PD with an initiative called No Hokey Left Behind, and pretty much that it just encourages students and reminds students that when they're going out anywhere that they go with friends, they stay with friends, and they leave with friends.
The Blacksburg Police Department also encourages residents to use this safety feature provided by rideshare companies and always confirm the driver's identity before entering a vehicle. Thanks for watching. I'm Catherine Maxwell. If you have a story idea, you can contact us through email at the newsfeednrv@gmail.com. And as always, you can always connect with the newsfeed on Facebook and Twitter. Thanks for watching.
They call me Maxie, but I prefer tripod. I was your above-average four-legged homie, and then wham, bam, minivan. Some people pity me. Now that's lame. I still run, fetch, and swim. And the ladies love me. I'm the ultimate wingman. Just don't ask me to high five.
Roll A, take A.
Hello,
Hello, and thanks for joining us for this edition of the Newsfeed. I'm Logan Ross.
And I'm Ryan Niblock.
Recently, Betsy DeVos, the U.S. Secretary of Education, made the decision to defund Special Olympics. Luckily, her decision was overturned for the benefit of the special needs community and their families. Blacksburg and all of Virginia have strong ties to Special Olympics, and volunteers hope their beloved program will stay alive. The Special Olympics in Southwest Virginia has a very active program of on-field sports leagues. Both Special Olympics members, families, and volunteers are glad they will still be able to join in on their favorite sports.
Happy too, because I personally see it back home and how my brother is, and I know it gives him something to look forward to, and it gives my parents something to look forward to make him happy. So giving him that outlet and being able to play sports has been huge for him. So I think if that was taken away, it would have been awful for him. So it makes me very happy. I think sports is definitely a great opportunity for parents to get their kids involved and have them do extracurricular things outside of school or outside of work. So I can only see it going up if the funding continues.
The Special Olympics will continue to be very involved in the New River Valley community and all over Virginia. In other news, a big research project has come out of the Department of History this week. Professor Ed Guitry has received $350,000 of funding from Senator Tim Kaine to diagnose first-person sources of World War II veterans. The Department of History at Virginia Tech is known for robust projects and great research support. The latter trend is no different for Professor Ed Guitry, one of the World War II professors in the department. His World War II course is beginning a digital history project, an exploration of first-person documentation of World War II veterans. The project has received praise far and wide and is even funded by Senator Tim Kaine.
So I was notified from Senator Kaine's office when I had gotten the announcement of the implementation grant, the large implementation grant. That was just last week, and there was a mention of it in the New York Times. But this is just kind of the beginning.
Students share Professor Guitry's excitement as they begin their assignments. This is just one of many assignments across the history department where students are contributing to the research their professors do outside the classroom. Professor Guitry emphasizes that he wants to make his research as open to the public as possible.
Who knew Virginia Tech has a meat center? That's right, formerly known as the Meat Science Center, this building is fully equipped as a meat processing plant. Newsfeed reporter Gretchen Kernbach has more on an inside look. Gretchen?
Yeah, I did, and there's no other way to put it than it's just a really interesting concept. VT students learn about meat processing in both an academic setting and through service learning. Take a look.
It's unlike any job you will ever have.
Working at Virginia Tech's Meat Center means early mornings and late nights, but the high-end equipment and valuable skills you learn pay off.
We teach students about a lot of different aspects of the meat industry. Mainly we teach them about the trade of butchery and meat processing. We teach them about food safety, about equipment safety.
The Meat Science Center is regularly inspected by the State of Virginia's Meat Inspection Division.
We clean up at the end of the day. We make sure that all of our equipment is scrubbed down. Any of our little pieces that go with the equipment are scrubbed and really clean to ensure that food safety is the main priority.
The Meat Center also partners with researchers on campus.
A lot of our research goes through the Department of Animal Sciences, where we harvest animals and we take a lot of muscle samples to better understand the conversion of muscle to meat and how that can impact meat quality factors.
The program is open to students in any major. Part-time employment is also offered at the facility.
This is a very hands-on learning experience. Our students come in with very little knowledge.
A variety of products are offered to Virginia Tech employees and the surrounding community. People can buy different cuts and seasoned meats. Orders can be placed online and picked up at the facility.
This is an experience unlike any other.
Let me tell you, when I walked in there, it must have dropped 20 degrees, but that's how they keep everything fresh. I think I might just have to place an order with them later on this week. I'm Gretchen Kernbach, back to you at the news desk.
Thanks, Gretchen. With the rise of cashless apps, local businesses are adapting to new ways of payment. Many students don't even think about carrying cash anymore. Venmo, Cash App, and Apple Pay are some of the ways money can be transferred with a touch of a button. In downtown Blacksburg, it's almost impossible to find a cash-only app for students going to the bank or ATM, and is no longer a common occurrence. Many customers can now use their smartphones at the register. Shop owner Lee Johnson shares his thoughts on ways to pay.
Well, I just recently had a customer use the phone for payment on this terminal just a few days ago. And at first I was skeptical if it would even work. That was the first usage we've had, and it did, worked out fine.
Local shops must prepare for changes in the coming years. Over 14,000 people are sex trafficked within the United States every year, with Interstate 81 acting as a main transport hub on the East Coast. Located off the highway, Blacksburg and Christiansburg are susceptible areas for such operation to occur.
It Happens Here is a campus organization at Virginia Tech whose aim is to prevent sex trafficking in the New River Valley. Here's Newsfeed reporter Lauren Skinker with more.
Created in 2016 on the coattails of a homecoming campaign, It Happens Here has taken on the daunting task of raising awareness about sex trafficking in the New River Valley. This organization fights the enterprise by educating college students and putting on different events like the Aruna Run.
Aruna is a nationwide organization that puts on 5Ks all over America to raise money and support to free women in India from sex trafficking. So over 100 people came out and ran the 5K and supported this movement. We were super honored and happy to be there.
Each participant wrote the name of the woman he or she was racing for on their running tags, adding a personal level to an issue that is distant to most. This was the second year that It Happens Here helped sponsor the race, attracting the likes of people who could care less about running but couldn't care more about the cause.
I don't run all that often, especially on Sunday mornings, but it just sounded like such a good cause, I just couldn't miss it. That's pretty much the only reason I came.
Behind me is the finish line of the Aruna Run, and as each racer finishes, he or she will be awarded with a medal. The Aruna Run is just one of the many events that It Happens Here puts on to help raise awareness about sex trafficking in the New River Valley and around the world. At the end of April, It Happens Here will be holding another fundraiser in support of a safe house in Roanoke.
We are having a Casino Royale night, and just by coming and being a part of it, you're able to just donate money to help this cause and to help these girls who have been trafficked.
Reporting for the Newsfeed, I'm Lauren Skinker.
Just ahead on the newsfeed, we'll take a look at how Airbnb restrictions are impacting Blacksburg tourism. And Blacksburg has been named the 4th safest town in Virginia. That story and more after this break.
Hi. You think you're probably sober?
Yeah.
But you're thinking about taking the back roads home, just in case. If you're probably sober, then why would you do that? Good choice.
Probably okay isn't okay. If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
That's a full glass of wine. I'll be chatting you later.
Welcome back to the Newsfeed. I'm Logan Ross.
And I'm Ryan Niblock.
The town of Blacksburg is no stranger to visitors. Between the Blue Ridge Mountains and the campus of Virginia Tech, there are a lot of reasons for guests to venture up. And it becomes all the more convenient and memorable when locals in the area open their home to incoming guests. Airbnb has become an increasingly popular method for housing when visiting an area. Its affordability and convenience makes it stiff competition for hotels. However, Airbnb has recently passed stricter enforcement laws and regulations to reduce neighborhood disruption. The town of Blacksburg takes efforts to compromise with Airbnb regulations and hosts. Blacksburg Airbnb superhost Joanne Dean explaining how officials have partnered with hosts through this transition.
It's been done very tactfully. Originally, you just paid taxes through the numbers you made that Airbnb gave you a report of for your year's earnings. And then the town got involved and they were very specific with us. They invited us all to come into meetings. They talked about how we host. They learned about hosting and then came to a conclusion of what they would tax us for having this service in their town. So they've been very specific and comfortable.
Airbnb registration may be suspended or terminated if hosts fail to collect lodging tax or receive 3 or more complaints over the course of 12 months. Yet it is likely that Airbnb hosts will continue to provide special experiences for guests even with the new regulations.
Late March through early May is one of the busiest times of year for sports fans, and there are multiple events occurring. Major events in multiple sports get fans excited as the drama and pageantry comes alive. With events like the NCAA tournament, the Final Four, opening day baseball, and the Masters and more, all happening within weeks of each other, sports fans seem to need multiple television sets just to keep up with all the events. Collegiate Times assistant sports editor Robert Fletcher tells us why this is the best time of year for a sports fan.
Well, I think with playoff hockey and playoff basketball coming pretty soon, in about a week or two, I think it's an incredibly exciting time for not only sports fans but the sports media covering it.
While opening day for baseball happened last Thursday, many teams are still having their home openers this week. Next major event this week is this weekend's Final Four. This is followed by the biggest golf tournament of the year, the Masters. So expect a lot of sports fans to be waiting a little bit longer to enjoy the spring weather as they'll be inside watching the next major event. It's officially spring, and this change of seasons comes with a wide variety of activities to partake in here in Blacksburg. The New River Valley has no shortage of things to do when the weather starts warming up.
Newsfeed reporter Josh Gain has more on how Virginia Tech students and Blacksburg residents alike spend their time in this area during the spring.
After a long winter, spring has finally arrived in Blacksburg. As warm weather makes its arrival on campus, several Virginia Tech students take to the drill field. It's not rare to see students playing a wide variety of games on the drill field come spring, and one of those games is spike ball. Virginia Tech Spike Ball Club President Josh Kaplan believes it's a perfect game for springtime in Blacksburg.
First of all, weather's nice, you want to be outside. It's a perfect sport to play outside, whether it's on the beach or on the grass. You're running around the entire time, just getting a lot of good exercise in, enjoying the weather down here in Blacksburg, which is always beautiful.
The changing of the seasons affects more than just students, as the warm weather brings out several of Blacksburg's local residents. From the local farmers market that brings some of Blacksburg's finest homemade food and products to hikes and parks, there is plenty to experience beyond campus. Blacksburg resident Laura Engel says she and her family have lots to look forward to in the spring.
We're really thankful that it's warm, that we can finally get outside, not be cooped up. So we enjoy working on our garden. We also go for walks a lot, finally, when it's nice. Use the trails, especially Heritage Park.
Reporting for the Newsfeed, I'm Josh Gann.
And in our last story today, Blacksburg was recently given a recognition as the 4th safest town in Virginia. The study is conducted by SafeWise.com each year, and Blacksburg has moved up an impressive 9 spots from last year.
To give us more on this story, here's Newsfeed reporter Abby Dunn.
SafeWise.com, a website known for their knowledge in home security, family safety, and more, has recently conducted a study to determine the top 20 safest cities and towns in Virginia. In the top 5, the New River Valley's own town of Blacksburg. Blacksburg ranked number 4 on the list behind Bridgewater, Berryville, and Vienna. What's most impressive about this feat is that Blacksburg is the only city in the top 10 with a population above 20,000 due to its identity as a college town. It rose an impressive 9 spots from last year, but the question is, how?
There is a very robust civic culture in Blacksburg. It's always been part of the town. There has always been a very reciprocal, very mutual agreement between the two police departments. So Kevin Faustus, police department on Tech's campus, and Anthony Wilson for the town side.
After the terrible campus shooting back in 2007, it's no surprise that both the Blacksburg and Virginia Tech police departments have been working to make the town a better place for locals and students. As a result, junior Rachel Frazier explains that she's never felt unsafe on campus.
Yes, I honestly never have felt unsafe being in Blacksburg, whether I am on campus or off campus downtown. I feel like Blacksburg, we have our own little bubble of Virginia Tech students.
With the violent crime rate at an impressive 0.53 per 1,000, the Blacksburg community can rest easy. Reporting for the Newsfeed, I'm Abby Dunn.
And that will wrap up this edition of the Newsfeed. If you have a story idea for the Newsfeed, let us know. Send us an email at thenewsfeednrb@gmail.com. And as always, you can also connect with us on the Newsfeed on Facebook and Twitter.
Thanks for watching. I'm Ryan Niblock.
And I'm Logan Ross.